What's up, everyone? It's your boy Freeze, and I'm outside of the Deceptor Lab this week, and so I'm using my backup computer, so I'm not able to get video and everything, with the exception of the stuff that I pre-recorded. And today, I just wanted to talk to you guys about combiners and just different strategies that you can use to be more effective with your combiners. And I've been working on it a little bit this week as a topic of conversation I had with some of my friends, and I'm planning on doing a combiner series, con highlights, and so we can talk about some of the strengths and weaknesses of each of them individually. But before we do get into that later on in the week and in the upcoming weeks, I wanted to just go through some of the basics first. So we'll go ahead and take a look. And so the first thing that I want to look at is a video I had from a war earlier today where I successfully pull off the Flame War Sack. Now I make a couple mistakes on this one, and I want to kind of point those out because I could have did a lot better. And so everything's going good, right? Chromia's got her tower down, Computron's got it down, and then the first mistake I make is right here because I run into the motion sensing mine. No problem, I expected that. But watch what happens next, and this is my first critical mistake. And so I panic, I drop my combiner, and this is actually my second mistake right here because I dropped my combiner right over the spot where I deployed my team. So now I realize that when I do it, let's see how I respond afterwards. So I try to go for the build bot. Got some war effects going, and possibly some Titan tree effects, so the build bot does not get taken out by my glass gas cannon. Alright, so I had the right idea, so that's one of the things I did well, is I tried to attack that build bot. And then while I'm still on the pad, I go ahead and see if I can take down a couple of buildings while I'm still on the pad and absorb some damage. So this is actually another mistake because I realized that I didn't get that build bot the first time, and that one has the FFD core on it, the force field disruptor, and I've got cutthroat on this team, and I want to drop down smoke because this area is front loaded. So that's another failure on my part to get that correct. But I do end up, and I also don't stun any of the outpost bots. I don't even get these guys to move, so now I've got the entire team jumbled up on me because of my poor placement for my combiner and my poor placement for my bots. The other thing is, for on hook, I've got the Nexus Prime core, and so I didn't get hook out to get additional power for my team to bring down Computron. Now I wound up bringing down Computron anyway in this particular case, but this could have turned really bad really fast based off of my lack of fundamentals. So I'm going to run a couple of other videos that show you what to do and how to do these things correctly. And so I'll use this simple video right here. And so in this case, everything's not like a whole lot of defenses in the front, so I still want to go for that Flame War Sack. And once again, I successfully pull it off. Now I'm looking at the positioning of the MDS there, pretty much in the front of that cluster in the back. So what I do in this particular case is, there's not really anything in the front to mess with me that much, but there is a build bot, a FFD build bot up there. So I try to damage what I can for a pathing standpoint, and then I go directly for that build bot to try to take it out. In this particular case, I'm perfectly okay with my positioning because I bring Computron back up. I drop my I'm going to drop my team back down. Granted, the one mistake I did make again is I didn't bring my team out in order to establish the Nexus Prime core. So with this kind of layout, everything, I took a couple of risks just because I knew I wasn't going to take too much damage at the pad, but still there's some room for improvement. So I got a couple more examples up here. So this is more what I'd like to see is on this next clip. What I'd like to see is something more like this. So in this case, not too much threatening in the front again, so similar style. But so I'm gonna bring Impact out. I'm gonna clear a couple of things out there in the front, and then I'm gonna bring the rest of my team out. Now that I've got Hook on the battlefield, I'm gonna get a chance to activate that Nexus Prime core. And even though Astro Train starts running away a little bit right here, I just reel him back in. And I'm still gonna go for the Flame War sack, but I'm gonna let the team walk up first, and when she gets in range, then go for that Flame War sack. Now what happens next is interesting, because now I've got Overlord out. I've got all of my outpost bots out except for one. So what I like to actually do is bring Overlord to that opposite side. And what you're going to see is going to happen is because Omega Supreme's already up, they're both going to walk towards each other, and I go ahead and take him to the top of that screen and try to get some reflection damage going, and I target that MDS, try to see if I can get it out of the way quickly, and also soften up some of the defenses by my reflective powers that I'm using with Overlord. In this particular case, I didn't get the MDS down in time, but it's pretty softened up. It is regenerating, so I go ahead and finish that off with Blast Off, and then the rest of it from there is just pretty much a walk. So yeah, that one worked a lot better than what I wanted to see, and it's just one of those things I've just been practicing, and then I get close enough to the other MDS that I can take it out with Impactor. The rest of the team just walks up and takes care of the job. Now another thing that I was looking at was in this one I go for a Ramjet sack, and I pop one outpost, go across the other side, pop another outpost, and here comes the opposing combiner. It's Computron again. So I pop 3 outposts here, and so I got a couple of problems because now I've got Swoop, and he's got ability 11, so it's got stun. But Vector Prime actually does the power core does the job for me on this time, because it pulls Computron up to the top of the screen. I've already popped 1 motion sensing mine, and then I bring team opposite side, pop the other motion sensing mine in the front, and also pop that 4th outpost bot, that smoke screen, so that could have been problematic. And so what I've been practicing is actually bringing my combiner down to the bottom in certain scenarios, only because I like to try to go after some of the spider mines and the MDS. So I've already taken out the MDS on one side. I take a good shot at the MDS on the other side, doesn't work, and so I go for the ground smash on it, and then the rest of my team can just take care of the rest of the base from there. So a lot of this stuff with the combiners really just boils down to positioning, and it also just boils down to knowing what your team is going to be good at. Like in this particular case, I would say, hey, it's okay to take out some of the get some of the motion sensing mines on, to activate your bots, because by the time you come back from that combiner running, it's going to be over with. But I like to use the bottom of that pad a little bit, just because a lot of times you're not going to have as many defenses attacking you from the bottom of the pad, and so it gives you a chance to get some additional damage, and it gives you a chance to conserve some of your combiner's health. And so that's what I've been working on this week, trying to apply that a little bit more to my war strategies. How do you guys use your combiners? If you do something different, come talk to me if you're a member on my Discord server, come talk to me on there. If you're not, I'm going to leave the Discord server link in this video, and also leave a comment if you do something different on the video as well, and give me a like as always. I'll be out here starting the Combiner series video later on in the week, but if you have any comments in between then, like I said, hit me up in the comments or on Discord. But I'll be back at you tomorrow on Wednesday with another video, and I'll see you guys out there on the battlefield as always. Freezius out.